Hello humans. Today we are going to be walking through the complete dominance practice problems. So this is the blue sheet in your notebooks and it is the first sheet of our Punnett square practice. This video is going to be walking through the basics of every single problem that we have on this page here in case you got stuck on any of them and then either myself or any of the other bio teachers weren't able to get to you and help you, or if you were afraid to ask in class. The goal here is to walk you through these problems and to give you an example of how to go through them, right? I'm going to try and portray what my mindset is going through them. This should not in any way be a substitute for you thinking, if you watched this video, you now understand how to do complete dominance practice, okay? For all of these videos, you should be watching them, and then if you watch me do all three of the problems, you should look up online for yourself some other practice problems so that way you know for sure that you can do a problem on your own. If you can't do a problem on your own, you will probably not be able to do well on the test. Okay, let's get into it. So at the very top it says to read first. In some dogs, deafness is a recessive condition. The dominant characteristic is hearing. So this trait shows complete dominance. When we see, this sort of thing, we want to figure out what is going to be our genotype or our letter for each of them. And so since we're talking about hearing, right, I'm going to choose H to be our letter. So capital H is going to represent hearing. Lowercase h is going to represent deaf. Okay. And so we're going to use those letters going into our problem here. So our very first problem, we have a mom dog who is homozygous for hearing and is bred to a deaf dad dog. What is the genotype probability of the puppies? Okay, so we're going to break it down here where we've got the mom, her genotype, and then the dad and his genotype. Okay, and so we know that the mom is homozygous for hearing. And so we see hearing up here is capital H. And so the mom is going to have, since it's homozygous, she's going to have two of the same letters. So she's going to have two capital H's. The dad is deaf. And so in order to be deaf, which is recessive, he needs two lowercase letters. All right. So then that brings us to our Punnett square that we're going to set up. Okay, so along the outside, we're going to put the genotype of our first parent, which in this case is going to be the mom. We're going to have capital H, and then the dad is going to go on the left side here. And so his genotype is lowercase h. Okay, so then now in our Punnett square, we're going to combine these two genotypes where the mom is going to give a capital H to each of these squares, because H would go down, down, H would go down, down. The dad would give a lowercase h to each of those squares as it goes across, 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 across. And so within our Punnett square here, our four options, our four probabilities are all going to be capital H, lowercase h. And so the genotype, right, since that's what we care about, 100% are going to be capital H, lowercase h. We don't care about deaf or non-hearing because we're asking about genotype and not phenotype. Okay, question 2. The puppies from question 1 grow up and 2 of them mate. And so, yeah, sometimes animals inbreed. What will be the amount of hearing to deaf dogs in the next generation? Okay, so we're talking about hearing to deaf dogs. And so since we're talking about that, those are going to be traits. So we care about phenotype is what we're looking for here, not looking for genotype. And then for our dogs, parent 1, parent 2, the genotypes that are going to be involved here. Since it's the puppies from the last round and all of the puppies were capital H, lowercase h, those are going to be our genotypes going into our Punnett square here. Okay, so parent 1 has capital H, lowercase h, so we're going to put that on top of the Punnett square. Parent 2 has capital H, lowercase h. And so we're going to put those on the outside. And so just like before, we're going to go through parent 1 and see what they donate. Capital letters, I try and write on the left side, so they'll appear first. So we've got capital H, capital H. Lowercase letters, since they're recessive, I'm going to put those on the right side here. Okay? And then we've got capital H being brought over by parent 1. So capital H, capital H, capital H, lowercase h being brought by parent 2, lowercase h being brought by parent 2. So then our phenotypes, right? We care about hearing and deaf. So those are the percentages that we want to care about here. And so the possible hearing genotypes, right? Hearing could appear as, they just need one capital letter in there. So it could be 2 capital H's, it could be capital H, lowercase h. And then in order to be deaf, which is that recessive trait, they need 2 recessive alleles. So it's gonna be lowercase h, lowercase h. So we see 1, lowercase h, lowercase h. And so we have 1 out of 4 are going to be deaf. And then 3 of our other ones, they have either capital H, or capital H, lowercase h. So 3 out of 4, or 75% of them, are going to end up being hearing. Okay, so that's problem 2. Problem 3. When 2 deaf dogs are mated, what are the phenotype and genotype probability the offspring will have? Okay, so if we have parent 1, we always want to know what our parent genotypes are. Okay. And if they're both deaf, they're going to be lowercase h, lowercase h. And so parent 1 we can put up top, h, h. Parent 2 we can put on the side, h, h. And then we combine those in our Punnett square here. And so we want to answer for phenotype and genotype. So pheno, that is going to be the physical trait, right? And so we're looking for either deaf or hearing. And so 100% of them are going to be deaf, since it's all lowercase, lowercase. Geno is all lowercase, lowercase. So we got 100%. Lowercase, lowercase. Okay, that is how you can solve the 3 complete dominance problems. Good luck.